All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Hu and XiaoKai taking place here on Last Refuge. I'm still going back to the 4:3 aspect ratio because, well, when I go into the 16:9, it absolutely, or the widescreen mode, it absolutely looks distorted. There is tearing, the frames per second drops. It just does not look good to me, and it's difficult for me to actually spot all of that and keep track of it. Hopefully at one point they will fix that replay issue and I'll be able to start casting back in widescreen. I know for those of you guys out there who are watching on your phones, well, there's just a lot less to see since I'm, right up against this border off over here. But, I can't, there are some things that are simply beyond my control if I'm trying to create a good product. I gotta make sacrifices, and I myself have to be watching the game as well, and the tearing was just a little bit too distracting even for me. Anyways, this is gonna be Hu versus XiaoKai. Hu is spawning as Orc. That is a statement, not a question. Meanwhile, over here, XiaoKai is spawning as the Teal Undead. This is going to be a 1v1 matchup, Orc versus Undead. We should be looking at an Altar of Darkness going into a Death Knight and Crypt Fiends, as we already have that graveyard up and running. Back over here to the top right, we'll see how things go as we are looking. Yep, 230 Acolyte. We are, in fact, in the new patch. Still haven't read up on any additional patch notes as of yet. I know that they're trying to make some balances to the game, and there really is a lot going on in balancing a game like StarCraft 2, WarCraft 3, where when you try to adjust one thing, it also affects the other remaining two races, and thereby what one race becomes, a little bit too weak or too strong in a matchup, other races may get far too much, and then all of a sudden you get this weird rock paper scissor matchup where rock always beats scissor, and scissor always beats paper. That's not what you want. You want there to be maybe a 5% win-loss ratio difference, 55-45. I guess that's technically 10%, so 53-47% win-loss expected ratio in matchups on similarly leveled players, and that's actually very difficult to try and maintain. Just ask any game balance designer, because sometimes when you're trying to balance for the professional scene, what ends up happening is the professional players is not a large enough sample size to give accurate data. Right? If anyone who has studied math, is it statistically relevant? Is the information that we're looking at statistically relevant, or is the sample size just far too small? And oftentimes that's the case. As we're looking at the Death Knight, now looking to finish off some Forest Troll Trappers here. Especially when you look at the professional scene, there just isn't enough players out there to really make a distinctive, hardcore or hard decision about how things need to be made. Now, it does sound like Blizzard is making those changes rather fast, and we should be expecting another patch sometime soon. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Anyways, I am going to get off my high horse or soapbox, whatever, talk about what's going on in the game right now as the Blade Master is heading back off to the north. Meanwhile, back down across over here, Death Knight has a sacrificial skull and is bringing acolytes. All right, Who is Who expecting, is Who going to be expecting any of this right now? All right, Acolyte, beautiful death blow right there. There's the Dust of Appearance. Blade Master now going to be forced to try to react here. There's an ensnare on a skeletal minion as the ghouls are going to go ahead and be engaged. Crypt Fiends are off over here. Sacrificial Skull. There is the Blight ready to go, and we should be getting Acolytes summoning up buildings. Perhaps the Blight was a little bit delayed or too far out of range. Should have perhaps been placed off over here, and then that would have been a good enough range. Instead, going to be forced to try and fight back. The Crypt Fiends want to stay on Blight as long as possible. Same thing for the Ghoul, as one Ghoul is going to get taken down. Peons are now making their way over as well. Perhaps a second Ziggurat could be placed down across over here, as there is some engaging skeletal minions in that front line. Death Knight is going to be able to get off another death blow to try and save as well, as the Acolytes are disappearing in between the two buildings. We should see an Acolyte. Well, are we going to see a cancellation? I don't know if that was a cancellation or not, but a lot of of damage was absorbed. There goes one ghoul or grunt there as another building now taken down. All right, Ziggurats are absorbing a lot of damage, but the downside is that, well, the Ziggurats can just be canceled, and what ends up happening is that the Crypt Fiends are able to fight back. While the grunts are trying to do damage that doesn't really matter on a building that will eventually be canceled, the grunts are taking focus fire from multiple Crypt Fiends. Very, very strong attack right here. More acolytes now being added. We could get some repairs or death of a peon. Is it going to get taken down? No, it is not, as the Death Knight now tries to run back over. Death Knight does have a good amount of health or mana still as he looks to back up. Ziggurat sitting at, what, 250 hit points. Perhaps the death of a peon, this low hit point peon, could have been taken down much earlier, but it wasn't for some strange reason. All right, peons are trying to fight back once more. Death Knight, there's Dust of Appearance. Is the Blade Master going to lose its healing salve? Yes, it will, and it doesn't have another healing salve ready to go. Continuing the fight once more. Death Knight has enough mana, or will have enough mana for another Death Coil here in just a moment, as one Ziggurat is already up. More Tomb of Relics now being placed down, as another Ziggurat is getting into position. All right, this is not looking good at all. Shadow Hunter is out on the field. Gonna perhaps try to go after a Crypt Fiend. You can see Tomb of Relics will get canceled, or should get canceled. Far too low on hit points. This Acolyte should perhaps be trying to build in the backside instead. The Tomb of Relics has far too low hit points, as you see. Oh no, Demolisher now on the field. Demolisher taking a lot of damage. Skeletal Minion in the right position at the right time. Gets the Demolisher before it is even able to get off a single shot. But once again, we are looking at the Orc Burrows already at the fortified upgrade. This was a change in patch 1.30, adding or allowing for fortified upgrades on Orc Burrows at tier 2. All right, let's take a look at this as the Crypt Fiend now trying to make its way back around. Oh, taking a little bit of damage, not going to be heading back off. One Spirit Tower is up. No, that's the Nerubian Tower. No Spirit Tower as of yet. We could be going for another Demolisher, and the key question is going to be, is that Demolisher going to get trapped? If it exits from this door right here, the Crypt Fiends could end up blocking it before the unit is able to make its way back out. Oh, Demolisher is going to be using this. No, able to rally back off over there. You can see the timing as the Demolisher now heading back. The Ziggurat going to go ahead and get canceled right there as it was unable to get finished off. Let's take a look. Continuing the battle. Was that more Sacrificial Skull? It looks like it. The Blight extending very far, and the Crypt Fiends are just regenerating so many hit points. Peon's going to continue that fight off over here. Acolytes are on auto repair. Are they going to be able to finish the job here as another Demolisher going to get added? One Demolisher not going to be enough to slow this down, but that second Demolisher could be just enough here as the Crypt Fiend now looking to back up. Crypt Fiend still taking a lot of damage. Has to be very careful. There's that second Demolisher, and who is going to be able to stand up against this tower attempt? Death Knight sitting at level 2 as the pressure is still on and underway. Demolisher perhaps just should be attacking ground here against all of these Crypt Fiends. The supply count is relatively even as we are looking at a low hit point grunt who could get taken down. There goes that Tomb of the Tomb of Relics, as we're seeing more damage getting added in still. The Crypt Fiends do deal a large amount of damage, 26 to 31. That is a very large burst amount of damage as the Death Knight trying to save those low hit point Crypt Fiends, able to get away. One very low hit point grunt down to 64 hit points. 2 volleys from the Crypt Fiends, or 3 volleys from the Crypt Fiends, will be able to finish it off, and that's exactly what we see right there. Beautiful timing on that healing wave, as we may see the Death Knight not able to save this Crypt Fiend here. That Crypt Fiend down to 77 hit points, trying to back again. Beautiful save once there. Blade Master now trying to fight back, as this is really laying down the pressure. Low hit point Crypt Fiends, those 3 low hit point Crypt Fiends, trying to take them out of the fight is just extremely dangerous. Blade Master may be able to clean up. No, unable to do so. There is still Dust of Appearance. More Ziggurats still trying to add, as the Demolisher down to 137 hit points. Only one Demolisher left. The other one looks like it was destroyed in the chaos, as the Blade Master once again dives on in. Death Knight still trying to push into position here. Crypt Fiends trying to perhaps focus down a grunt. Low hit point Ghoul could get taken down. The Ghouls are going to try to chase after that one Demolisher, as the Orc Burrow is still lobbing out those spears. All right, Demolisher down as it unable to escape. Let's take a look. Another grunt going to get taken down. Death Knight sitting at level 2. Are we going to get the Nerubian Tower repaired? Yes, we are, as there is no more Demolisher just quite yet. Crypt Fiends now trying to back around. Where is that Crypt Fiend going to try and go? Unable to really get to the right distance, as the Blade Master now has a potion of healing. Low hit point grunt also lost. Death Knight sitting at level 2, almost at level 3. I don't know. Well, there is a new Demolisher right there joining back in on the fight. All right, Barracks, Grunt still getting at it. Perhaps that Demolisher was always off to the north, just couldn't find it in the chaos. As we are looking at a low hit point, Crypt Fiend gonna get taken down. Level 3 now on the Death Knight. Level 2, Death Coil saving up that 400 hit point burst heal as the Barracks is now taking a lot of damage. All right, another Spirit Tower could get constructed here. Meanwhile, a Grunt could get taken out. Where's it gonna go? There is the Grunt trying to join in on the fight and then ends up having to retreat. Let's take a look at this. Death Knight sitting at level 3. If it had mana, one Obsidian statue would make the difference, as we are at Halls of the Dead. Halls of the Dead, but still no Slaughterhouse as of yet. Death Knight trying to push its way forward. Acolytes repairing Ziggurat. This one will be completed here in just a moment. Meanwhile, Demolisher still lobbing and trying to get all of that damage through. Crypt Fiend's being forced to back up. The Peon doing a great job keeping that one Demolisher alive. Is the second Demolisher perhaps going to make its way out? We don't see any more units trying. Nope, there's the repair. Repairing now, trying to keep that one building up. Where is this Demolisher going to go? It is now out onto the field, trying to take some burst damage. Unable to do that as two Demolishers are once again in position. All right, double Demolishers attempting to take down these Spirit Towers. The Spirit Towers very vulnerable to those Demolishers. That bonus damage and that long range is the perfect counter to any sort of static defense. All right, let's take a look at this. Crypt Fiend unable to get away there. You see down to 4 Crypt Fiends and a Death Knight. There are 3 towers overall as a Grunt may get taken down. There goes one Grunt. There goes an Acolyte. 2 Acolytes still left on the field as the Blade Master finishes off one Spirit Tower. One Spirit Tower now down. 2 Demolishers are here ready to go. Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, who has more experience. Level 3 on the Blade Master, as the Death Knight does not have Dust of Appearance. No Slaughterhouse as of yet. We are going into a Lich as the Crypt Fiend here looks like it will get taken down, trying to run back away. Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil off. Shadow Hunter doing a little bit of chasing, unable to get there either. All right, Death Coil isn't going to be enough. Death Knight trying to come back around. Death Coil could, nope. There it is, a bit late. And who has actually stopped this tower attempt, as we are looking at a level 2. Oh, nope. A level 2 Shadow Hunter, a quick Hex onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, a very long Hex life indeed. Gonna end up getting taken down. There is still a... Nope. Somehow was that a potion of mana? It must have been a potion of mana in order to get that Death Knight there. No Frost Armor as of yet. Frost Nova, however, onto the Blade Master, and the Blade Master ends up finishing off. There's the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter trying to make its way back out, unable to do exactly that. Healing Wave, there's the Frost Nova. The Crypt Fiend could end up getting taken down. Crypt Fiend gets taken down. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Blade Master now back out onto the field. Acolytes joining in on the fight, trying to fight back here, and they are just turning into skeletal minions now. Triple Demolishers. What is going on in this game here as the Death Knight is chasing after Demolishers inside that 0 damage zone? There goes another Demolisher here. Death Knight, if it is back on Blight, could swing things the other way again. Death Knight is going to get another kill onto another building. The skeletal minion could end up getting taken down. Skeletal minion getting one more shot. There it goes. It gets finished off. Tauren Totem now being added, most likely for Spirit Walkers, as the Blade Master, well, finishes off some remaining units here. Oh, absolute death and destruction going around across the board. Tauren Totem now placed down. Much of that blight has been cleared up. But what is going to be happening next as the skeletal minions push their way forward to try and, well, end up only feeding experience to that Blade Master? Death Knight sitting almost at level 4. Lich sitting close to level 2. Death Knight, what is the follow-up play going to be as the sacrificial pit being added? Still, we do not see a slaughterhouse. That is extremely curious at this point. No slaughterhouse, and that means that we are not getting obsidian statues. The Death Knight perhaps going to end up falling behind in terms of mana here, which is something the Death Knight desperately needs. Lich also needs a lot of mana. Frost Armor, yes, now onto that Death Knight, trying to add in additional bit of protection, +5 armor with that damaging slow debuff. Changes things around. Death Knight could easily try to clear out this creep camp here. while fighting on Blight. Skeletal minions now making their way off to the north. We are going into the adept training for Spirit Walkers as we are sitting at tier 1. We are not yet at Fortress. I don't know if we will go into Fortress as the Slaughterhouse just now gets started. Halls of the Dead could be going into, Halls of the Dead could be going into Black Citadel here in just a moment. And that Slaughterhouse with obsidian statues is going to keep the entire Undead army pretty strong. All right, Ogre Warrior going to get taken down here. Ogre Magi, Death Knight will get to level 4. Lich will stay at level 3. Death Knight looks like he will be going for Unholy Aura level 2. Better regeneration and, better regeneration, faster movement speed. While on Blight, the Undead units are healing at, what is that, 300%, so 3 times as fast as the Death Knight, or excuse me, as the Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, and Grunts. You can see the slow regeneration on these units here. Doesn't even regenerate very quickly. There you can see it tick up slowly but surely. Meanwhile, Blade Master shows up to the party, and what is going on? Units now need to retreat. There is a Frost Armor quickly on the Obsidian Statue, slowing things down. Raider trying to escape back out. Obsidian Statue taking far too much damage. Could get taken down here as it was just rooted in its tracks. Death Knight gets a Death Coil off onto the Crypt Fiend. Perhaps fighting back on Blight will be helpful as all the units are retreating again. So far, Orc has a significant army size advantage, but fighting on Blight is, a competitive advantage here as the Death Knight gets another Death Coil off. Meanwhile, the Obsidian Statues have not yet joined in on the fight. Ghouls could get taken down. Blade Master being forced to use a Potion of Healing in order to stay alive. Frost Nova from the Lich not in time, but that negative armor onto the Blade Master means that he is much more vulnerable and, will take more damage to auto attacks. Meanwhile, we're still looking at this fight here. 48 compared to 31. Demolisher ready to push back the other way, putting down the pressure. Death Knight in that front line. A big roar going across multiple units. We do not have destroyers as of yet. And without destroyers for Devour Magic, this entire front line is just dealing way too much damage. Crypt Fiend stays alive ever so barely. Death Knight trying to regenerate, getting hit points and mana. Meanwhile, the Lich is still off over here. Blade Master is going to go ahead and allow for a retreat with the use of a Scroll of Speed. 48 supply compared to 25. The Orc player, doing a great job pushing back the other way. XiaoKai, how is he going to get back into this game? He has a level 4 Death Knight, a level 2, almost level 3 Lich. Shadow Hunter is already at level 4, and the Blade Master, I believe, is also at level 4. So we have a 4-4 going up against a 4-2 now. And with that said, this is just an uphill battle in that he's trying to climb. Obsidian Statue looks as though we're going to go ahead and see some more creeping on this orange creep camp. Blade Master runs on by, doesn't spot his opponent, now wandering away. Death Knight taking this opportunity, a bit of sigh of relief, knowing that, you know what, I have not revealed myself to my opponent. He's going to perhaps come up the ramp here. Check in just a second. There it goes. Blade Master is revealed. Damage could get added in here as the Blade Master goes straight after the Obsidian Statue. Blade Master, however, is going to be able to do exactly that. Extra damage now in a bit of retreat. That negative armor does add up extremely quickly as the Obsidian Statue is trying to hide back over here. What is going on here? The Obsidian Statue could actually be lost to an Ogre Mauler instead. There goes the Forest Troll High Priest. Inner Fire now being nearly negated as it will get taken down. Off to the north, Watchtowers getting added in. I don't see a Pocket Great Hall or any sign of an expansion just quite yet. It might be built the old-fashioned way. Meanwhile, we're taking a look. Slaughterhouse, 31/50 supply compared to 48. Who has the supply advantage? And we're seeing if that will translate into the victory here. Only one destroyer out onto the field. No additional units being added in either, and that is, a bit of a shame as we're looking at the destroyer going after the remainder of this creep camp. There are Forest Troll Trappers and Forest Troll High Priests, but that's not, I guess with Devour Magic, it does make a bit of sense there. Devotion Aura now getting added. Book of the Dead. It summons 3 Skeletal Warriors and 3 Skeleton Archers. Lasts 120 seconds. I believe that is down from 4 originally. Nowhere near as powerful as the Skeletal Minions. show back up onto the field. Shade keeping track of this army here. Blademaster just on the cusp of level 5. Meanwhile, Shadowhunter sets up a pocket Great Hall in order to get an expansion up and running, ready to go. Death Knight, where is all of this going to be going next? There goes a Tide Runner. Destroyer going to get taken down by a... What? Come on, one more shot. Something to stop to attack it. Nope. All right. Tide Crawler going to be able to get in some extra damage and a bit of lost experience right there. Are we going to be going into a Dark Ranger? That is another question as well. As we see, well, nope, a Demolisher quickly just getting destroyed as it walks down into the wrong direction. Dark Ranger now in the center here. Shadowhunter, Blademaster must realize, you know what, maybe someone is nearby. There is a Shade here as well. It is revealed, but for some reason, well, finally keeping track of the army only to get destroyed there. All right, Death Knight is nearby. Lich is off nearby as well. Endurance Aura on that Blademaster. Blademaster doesn't even need a Tauren Chieftain, knowing that it could do a lot of damage there. Blademaster now trying to head back almost at level 5, and level 5 heroes are extremely dangerous as their abilities just add their damage output increases significantly with each of its abilities. All right, let's take a look back down across here. Skeletal minions now getting taken down. Blademaster trying to keep track of the undead army. He knows that his opponent does not have an expansion, and with that being known, he's going to go straight to try and defend this expansion here, or he could try to attack his opponent's base. There goes one guard tower. Watchtower. Second watchtower could get taken down. 3 armor. Easily going to get focused down here as the Blademaster gets in a big windwalk strike onto the obsidian statue, only to see it get frost armor. Death Knight still wandering around over here, seeing that level 4. A grunt tries to make its way through, quickly going to get taken down. There it goes. Could try and focus down some more units as well, as the Kodo beasts are out on the field. Kodos could eat some crit fiends. Oh, miss. Indigestion right there, unable to hit the target as one Kodo beast gets taken down. Blademaster, frost armor onto a crit fiend. Death Knight should be able to get a death coil off. Blademaster seeing that level 5. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Not yet at level 5. There's the death coil for the save as the Lich is sitting at level 3. Could get to level 4. Taking down some more units. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2 now as the obsidian statue in the backfield. What is going on? Is he going to try to transform? No, it is not. Oh, yes, it is. Goes in and now transforms into the air. All right, who has a slight advantage, but is it going to still hold true as the Death Knight gets to level 5, could get a 600 hit point heal. Scroll of Town Portal not needed at all, but the Death Knight wants to get a death coil off and saves the Dark Ranger. Units are still in retreat. Death Knight has a potion of lesser invulnerability, has to be careful. Shadowhunter could try and hex here as we see a big burst damage there. Death Knight, what is going on? Crypty now trying to head back away, able to do exactly that. Death Knight could be in trouble. Potion of lesser invulnerability used in time. Now going after the Blademaster. Blademaster falls. Blademaster falls at level 5. Ensnare finishes off a Destroyer as the Destroyer got pulled back at the last moment. Death Coil finishes off another Raider there as the Crypt Fiend pops back out. All right, one more shot here could finish it off. There it goes. Dark Ranger gets the killing blow, and we could see a little bit more engaging going on. Level 5 on the Death Knight. Level 4 on the Lich. Level 3, I believe, on the Dark Ranger. No, level 2 still. Meanwhile, the Blademaster is still getting resurrected, perhaps back at the tavern, or going to get resurrected at the tavern or back at the altar. Not quite sure yet. Shadowhunter has made its way down. There it goes. It is going to get healing salved back up. No clarity potion, though, as we are at a 5-4 going up against a 5-4-2. Acolytes making their way off to the north. Quick expansion check. Realizes, hey, there's no more gold. Who still has a big economic advantage? Who with the economic advantage? Will it translate into the victory? Acolytes now trying to make their way off to the north here. Peons trying to work this gold mine as well as the Death Knight now makes its way back up. Thank you for the subscribe, Chris. I think that was a YouTube subscription since it didn't show up on the text off over there. There it is. More Blight being added. Death Coil trying to finish off some units as there goes that tower there. All right. It is going to be what you see is what you get in this fight. Now, Death Knight still has a Scroll of Town Portal, so he could easily back up here in just a moment as we now have the Great Hall. 39 supply over 70. A lot of skeletal minions looking to take down this Great Hall here, as we are, well, there are a couple of burrowed Quick Fiends and a Sentry Ward keeping track of the army. Those units are going to be making their way over. Let's see, a quick ensnare. Are we going to get a Scroll of Town Portal off? That is the question, as the army's 42 supply compared to 35. All right, burrowed Quick Fiend once again heads back out. 7 supply difference. Is there a lot of workers on either side? That is a big question indeed, as these peons, well, now being forced to walk back. Actual army size rather close. Skeletal minions, you just have to wait for them to go away. If the skeletal minions stay out onto the field, that is a significant army advantage, as the Death Knight now continues to charge. Kodo Beast has nothing in its belly. One Raider quickly gets taken down. Blade Master going after the Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue is going to get ensnared and destroyed, unable to get out of that tight spot. There is still one Obsidian Statue left. Obsidian Statue going to attempt to be bursted down. Meanwhile, a handful of Raiders are still having a problem, as the Obsidian Statue is wandering around continuously. Death Knight going after the armies, though. Acolytes joining in on the fight. Acolytes get the killing blow on a Troll Berserker. Meanwhile, Blade Master going after the Obsidian Statue, and the Obsidian Statue does get taken down. Dark Ranger, however, gets up to level 3. No more additional healing except for Blight and Natural and Unholy Aura, as well, there is a Death Coil save right there. 600 hit point heal. Blade Master going after the Lich. Lich down to 255. Frost Armor, no Frost Armor. There is a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Coil is right there as well, trying to burst things down a little bit more. Death Knight still wandering around, as the Blade Master is still in this engagement. The wall of Acolytes causing so many problems. Death Knight could get a big Death Coil off here. Is it going to save it? No, it is not. Not going to bother, as the units are still running around in a circle. Death Knight goes after the Blade Master. Blade Master, Potion of Invulnerability, followed by Potion of Invulnerability. Raiders are in trouble. Lich pretty much out of mana. What is going on here? Raider could get taken down. 1 or 2 more shots. No. Healing Wave, Death Coil, finishing things off. Death Knight down to 199 hit points, trying to get away. Attack still going back every which way, as the Lich is in trouble. Are we going to perhaps see a Scroll of Town Portal? Death Coil onto the Lich, perhaps, as the units are still trying to fight back. Death Knight down to 79 hit points. Yo, burst damage, burst, as the Death Knight and the Blade Master both end up falling. Shadowhunter chasing after getting chased now by the Lich and the Dark Ranger. Death Knight, no chance of being resurrected, as there is just not enough gold. All right, no way to get more gold aside from selling items. Orb of Corruption, Claws of Attack +6, Gloves of Haste, and a Circlet of Nobility. The peons could start that Walk of Shame in order to get gold from a long distance gold mine, but I am not sure what can happen next. Very, very close game here. Shadowhunter trying to just get a little bit more gold, and that's pretty much where we are at. Acolytes unsummoning key buildings in order to get the Death Knight resurrected. Death Knight getting resurrected here. What other buildings will get added? And what a change in the overall pace of the game. Shadowhunter very, very low on hit points. Healing Wave, as it is, well, absorbing far too much damage from the Null Overseer. Null Overseer fighting back and forth here, trying to back away, trying to perhaps stutter step this. This is not looking good. Peons, lots of them doing that long distance mining. Shade arrives to the party and says, you know what? I think I can perhaps take you down. All I need is a Lich and a Dark Ranger. Surprise, you are dead. Shadowhunter down to 186 hit points. A Potion of Lesser Invulnerability may be the difference between victory and defeat here. Shade keeping track of that Shadowhunter. The Shadowhunter has to believe that he is being watched and he can't really go anywhere. Dark Ranger running back off to the north here, going to find a line of peons ready to get taken down. And with that said, you're going to get some skeletal minions up now. All right, there goes 1, there goes 2. Oh, this is a logarithmic nightmare. As you can see, units are just getting destroyed. Dark Ritual getting as much mana as you really want. Level 5 now on the Lich. As you see, every single peon and their bag of gold is gone. Well, I take that back. 1 is left. 9 supply over 60. Shadowhunter gonna try and make a play here. Necropolis Death Knight making its way out, but this is going to be it. There is the GG, extremely well played by Hu and XiaoKai. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.